In this video, I'll be doing a review of Ubuntu 15.04 Vivid Verve with the Unity desktop. No, wait a minute, my mistake, that's the XFCE desktop, so this is Xubuntu 15.04, which I just stylized to look like Unity, because why not? It's a whole lot more customizable than it has been before. So XFCE 4.12 has also brought us some additional changes like improved multi-monitor support. You can do a whole lot more tweaking to the desktop, great. And there's a few other changes which I'll go on to in the course of this review. Now, as well as changing desktop, we also have the change of Upstart being replaced by Systemd. It's okay if you're a home user, you won't really notice any difference there. But if you're an enterprise user, yeah, it's a little more difficult. You've got log files stored in binary, which hold it harder to review. And I don't know about anyone else, but I've found a whole lot of problems trying to get a static IP on Ubuntu server. But those issues aside, for the home user on this desktop, no, you won't really notice much of an issue. Well, there's no point in me describing the layout of the desktop because I've customized it so much, but if you want to see how it originally looked, it's something like this, with a panel across the top, the application launcher on the top left hand side, currently open applications, indicator menu, time, and calendar. Looks fine. The default application launcher in Xubuntu is the whisker menu. I have to say it's really nice and responsive for the application searching. Immediately starts bringing up results as you type, so even F, I can select Firefox from there, or we can continue typing further and press enter straight away. But let's take a look at some of these new features. So going across the settings, there's improved multi-monitor support. There's nothing I can really see here because I've only got one display. But if you plug in a new display, it asks you what you want to do with it. I did see a mention on one of Spatry's videos that it did interfere from Wine when an application launched a full-size window at a lower resolution. So let's bring up the tweaks menu. Window Manager tweaks. So starting with the cycling, right, let's open up another application like AbiWord and demonstrate that. So on the Alt-Tab menu, so you can either Alt-Tab with the Tab key, you can use the mouse, or you can use the arrow keys. But if you don't want that layout with the iconified, you can go for cycle through windows in the list. You can go for that view instead. Quite quick and easy to change. So you've got other options here: focus, accessibility, workspaces, placement of windows, compositor. You can even change your opacity of like the windows, whether they're currently open or inactive. So you can see here on the inactive, you can make it like nice and transparent, get it out of the way. Bring it back to opaque, change the opacity of the window decorations, the menus, windows during resizing and move. There's loads of quick and easy tweaks you can do here, and unlike Compiz, these seem to be entirely stable. I've certainly not had any problems there. But is that enough tweaks for you? Oh, well, if it's not, you can go even further into the depths of configuring the system, into the settings editor. And wow, there's quite a bit you can do from here. I did delve around here and played around with it a little bit. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's certainly a much more flexible system now, XFCE is. Oh, and you might notice the close, minimize, maximize buttons are on the left hand side. Yes, I went to move them because I could. They're normally on the right hand side. One overall change for Ubuntu 15.04 is that I've noticed the additional drivers now works a lot better. It's improved ability on identifying hardware. It seems to correctly name things, like such as my microphone, or even in this case here, the additional driver needed for my AMD CPU. Right-clicking on desktop properties even brings up the hard drive usage. Good. What I did mean to go to though was desktop settings. You can see we've got a variety of wallpapers pre-included in the system. I like that feature there. You can change the background in whatever time you wanted, in like a random order. It's nice features to have just pre-included on the system, should you want to do that. But if you don't want to do that, hey, the system is very usable as it is. One other improvement has been on the Power Manager. The trouble is I can barely remember what this was like before, so unfortunately I can't describe the difference. So let's look at what else was like with the system. So like on the Task Manager, you can see it's like quite a lightweight system. I'm only now clocking up to 9% of 4 gig of RAM. At base usage it's about 240. So it's like more of a mid-weight system. This responsiveness is a lot quicker than it has been before. I've noticed that as an improvement, because that was sort of one of my complaints in the past with Xubuntu, that despite the lightness of the system, it never seemed to be particularly quick. That's all gone now. This has been very sharp and responsive. It comes pre-included with lightweight applications, so like for the Office, you've got AbiWord and Genumeric instead of LibreOffice. I think I was looking somewhere that did mention they might switch to LibreOffice in the future release. Looking in multimedia, we've got GMusic Browser for the music player and Parole Media Player for the video player. So for internet, we've got Firefox web browser, Thunderbird for email, and transmission for the torrent client. Graphics, it's one of the few distros to have GIMP pre-included. So even GIMP is nice and snappy at loading. Games, you get a couple of pre-included games. Accessories, yeah, just your usual bunch of accessories. So yeah, this is all quite a nice system now. Oh, and you can even resize the whisker menu. And you can do a few customizations from here as well. Quite a lot of flexibility. Also open up man pages. Should we try? Just want to see what happens. No, it didn't work. When you do actually open a legitimate man page, then yeah, it does actually appear correctly. Cool. That's good. Got various other options there, and you can even add your own customizations to search actions. There's still a lot more I haven't really touched with the system, but I just want to give you an idea of what it's like. You can see some of the settings I've done here on like the panel, adding individual launchers, adding window buttons, and I've added another panel over there, and that reminds me the bottom panel has gone now. That used to be in previous releases where it gave you a quick launcher for a few applications. By right clicking you can go to the individual preferences to each item. I suppose my only criticism here is that it's not quite as customizable as KDE. Oh well, it didn't sell itself to be as customizable as KDE, so oh well, never mind. You can get a drop down menu as well, so if you want to add more applications under one item, you've got that flexibility. They've given you a variety of ingredients, and it's up to you to make whatever you want out of them. Well, here's what I thought of Xubuntu 15.04. Well, it's much more customizable than it has been before, and you've got improved multi-monitor support. Those are great new features. Got a neutral point here about systemd has replaced Upstart, and honestly I was scraping the barrel to find anything wrong with it, but minor insignificant problem, it's not as customizable as KDE. Oh well, it didn't sell itself to be customizable as KDE, so big whoop. My negative point is irrelevant perhaps, but I had to put something there. So overall I've given this distro 85%, so why not higher? Okay, couple of points here. It only has an 18-month support time, so do all the rest of the 15.04 distros. Now it doesn't have anything like the desktop layout switcher that Ubuntu Mate or Zorin have, and I really do mark that very high. And the final point, the file manager is just not as good as Dolphin or Caja. And I hope I pronounced Caja correctly because it's Spanish there. Anyway, that's kind of why it didn't score any higher. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all later.